back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I got my health is wealth hat on today. Health is wealth. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving. I feel like I had a great Thanksgiving. But I was having a conversation with my family and friends and stuff like that, right? And what I came to the conclusion is a lot of us, we're in our own way. We have our own bad habits. So this is kind of an affirmation station, but I only got 10 affirmations and then I got 10 kind of like keys and practical ways to get through being in your own way. So this one is like changing your mindset in terms of stopping your own bad habits and getting out of your own way and stopping yourself from living the life you want to live, if that makes sense. So the habits that you have, the bad habits that you have a way that you see your life in which you want to live your life a certain way, but you're in your own way. You have bad habits that's preventing you from living the life you want to live. So I'm going to get right into it. The first affirmation is going to be, I'm in control of my choices and actions. This one is to empower yourself to recognize that you have the ability to change any habit, right? And the key is to be able to first recognize the bad habits that you have and then being able to change them and then being able to put the actions and being mindful of when you are engaging in those bad habits. So I'm in control of my choices and actions. So take control of your choices, take control of your actions, and put your future first, right? Because these bad habits may be things that are coping mechanisms for like being able to just do whatever you want to do now, but it's affecting your future. It's affecting the lifestyle that you want to live. And I read somewhere recently that it was on Instagram that it's an unfair amount of time that it takes to achieve a goal than it is to completely knock yourself out of being able to achieve that goal. So be mindful of the things that you're doing. Number 2, I release habits that no longer serve my highest good. This is so that you can let go of behaviors that hinder your growth and align with your purpose. Figuring out your purpose and figuring out your goals in life is, of course, again, the main goals, the main thing that you have to do, because you can't just say these things and not really have any real goals, not have anything that you're really working towards. You need to figure out what it is that you're working towards, figure out the lifestyle that you want to live, and then figure out what's stopping you from living that life, right? So I released habits that no longer serve my highest good. If you want to be, let's say you want to be a doctor, right? And you work your regular 9 to 5, or you in school but you only do the bare minimum in school. You don't study and you come home and you just play video games all day. You don't really want to be a doctor because your actions aren't reflecting the outcome. So number 3, every day I am becoming the person I aspire to be. You got to put actions behind the words, and every day I'm becoming the person I aspire to be. That is part of the 1% every day. If you've been watching this channel long enough, you know what the 1% every day is. It's 1% better every single day in some aspect of your life. It doesn't have to be the same aspect every day, but we have different things. We have different hats that we put on every day, right? But getting 1% better overall every day is the key. So every day I am becoming the person I aspire to be, and focus on consistent progress towards your goal. 1%. That 1% every day is like beyond doable. It's beyond doable. It's a manageable amount, and it's compound interest. It's compound. As you keep compounding on, that 1% every day is going to turn into, I forgot the math on it, but you'll be more than 100% better at the end of the year. I replace bad habits with positive and empowering routines. Having a routine, having a calendar, having a set schedule and sticking to it and creating those habits is paramount. It's paramount. You've got to do it. Affirm that every bad habit can be substituted with a healthier alternative. 1000%. And contrary to on the flip side of that, some of the some of the good habits we have, we don't see the progress in it, so then we revert back to bad habits. So stay fervent on your belief and stay fervent on your journey, and understand that it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. You're gonna get there eventually. You just gotta get there. You gotta get there. You gotta be able to get there. Number 5, I forgive myself for past mistakes and commit to making better choices. Yes, being your best friend, part of that is forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you have made in your life, right? And it takes being honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with nobody. It takes being honest with yourself and realizing the mistakes that you've made. I've had to sit down with myself for a while and be like, you know what? I made those mistakes, and I was stubborn for a long time, and I just believed that I was moving within my purpose when I really wasn't. And then I sat down and I realized, like, yo, the things that I was doing was not conducive to who I want to be, to who I am now, right? And to who I want to be in the future, to who I will be in the future. And being open and honest with yourself is literally rule number 1. It's literally rule number 1, because if you can't be open with yourself, you can't grow. So release the guilt and focus on the present and the future. The past happened. You can't change it. You can't change the past, but you can change now. You can change now and not make those same mistakes and not continue with those bad habits, right? And be better. Be 100% better. Number 6, I have the strength to break free from any habit that holds me back. A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are afraid to change. A lot of people are afraid of change and to change, right? So believe in your inner resilience and capability to change. Not saying it's going to be easy, but it's doable and it's worth it. Change is worth it, because the minute you realize that you have to change, you have no choice but to change, because then you're going to be settling and you're going to be going through every day wondering or wanting more, realizing that you're the only one that can give you more. You're the only one that's in control of your fate and your destiny, right? So once you realize you have those bad habits, once you sit down with yourself and realize the bad habits that you have, you give yourself, or you got to hold yourself accountable to changing those bad habits. It's only up to you, right? Number 7, I'm patient with myself as I transform my habits. Yes, it's gonna take time. You gotta be patient with yourself, and you gotta give yourself some grace. You gotta give yourself some grace. This is your first time here. You know what I mean? It's your first time on earth. It's your first time living the life that you live. You only get one life, right? And no one's perfect. So as you grow, you give yourself grace, and you give yourself the understanding, right? Because no one else owes you understanding. No one else owes you grace. You owe it to yourself to be graceful in everything that you do, and understand yourself. Learn yourself as much as you can, and comfort yourself sometimes and be like, you know what? Yeah, I made those mistakes, but I'm better than those mistakes that I made, and I will be better in the future. And hold yourself accountable for that. You know what I mean? Hold yourself accountable. Get you an accountability partner, and be open and honest with that person as well. Complete honesty is where complete transformation begins. So accept the change. Accept that change takes time, and allow yourself grace during the process. Grace is something that a lot of people are unfamiliar with. So number 8 is I visualize the life I want and act in the ways that align with it. That was a big one. That was a big one in the 100 Simple Life Truths. Is you can't say you want to be a pilot and you don't know how a pilot thinks. You got to start thinking like a pilot from now. What would a pilot do? You know what I mean? A lot of people, they want to be godlike, and they say, what would Jesus do? You know what I mean? So you got to put yourself in the shoes of the person that you want to be, and it's sort of on the lines, or it's the easiest way to explain it is fake it till you make it. Act as if you are that person. Act as if you are the lawyer that you want to be. You know, already start talking like a lawyer. Start using lawyer jargon, and just embody the person that you want to be, and eventually you will become that person, right? Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, but have faith and have confidence in yourself that to know that you will be exactly where you want to be when you need to be there. So use visualization as a tool to stay motivated and focused. All right. Number 9, I deserve to live life free from unhealthy habits. You deserve it. You deserve everything that you set out to go and get, right? You deserve, if you set out to go make $1 million, you deserve that $1 million. If you set out to make it to the moon, you deserve to make it to the moon. But you gotta put actions behind those, right? So we could have withdrawals from bad habits, right? We could have withdrawals from not playing the game, or it may be hard to stop playing the game and start reading the book. It may be hard to stop staying up late and getting a nice night of rest so that you can wake up and hit the ground running in the morning, right? It may be hard to get up and start running every morning. It may be hard to stop eating junk food, stop drinking, soda, whatever the case may be. But it's going to be worth it, right? Reinforce that you are worthy of better, a more fulfilling life, right? And those things you may not see the effects early, but you will see the effects eventually. So anything worth doing, what's the saying? I forgot the saying, but long story short is if you want it, you deserve it, and if you feel like it's worth it, you're gonna have to make those sacrifices. And it's not really sacrifices. When you get rid of bad habits, it may feel like a sacrifice, but it's not. Right? Number 10, I am disciplined, consistent, and committed to my growth. Yes. Strengthen your resolve to stay on track. Yeah, we set these goals. We say, oh, I'm not gonna do this for a month. And then 5 days in, we already back doing whatever it is that we said we wasn't going to do. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable and set smaller goals, and then keep expanding them. Say, all right, I'm not going to do this for a week, and then once them 7 days is up, be like, I'm going to go another week. I'm going to go another week. I'm going to go another week. Don't set the grand goal to say, oh, I'm not going to do this for a year, when we know you're going to relapse. We have our relapse. I've done it. Everyone who has set goals or has said they're not going to do something has relapsed at some point, right? It's hard to just set that goal and go cold turkey. It's a process. You got to go through those steps, right? So set the smaller goals and then just keep adding on to it, right? It's more doable. Make life easier for you. So now I'm going to read those back over one time. Number 1, I'm in control of my choices and actions. Remember, these are the affirmations, and if you're not putting actions behind it, they're just mantras. You need to put the actions behind everything that you said. So number 1, I am in control of my choices and actions. Number 2, I release habits that no longer serve my highest good. Number 3, every day I am becoming the person I aspire to be. Number 4, I replace bad habits with positive and empowering routines. Number 5, I forgive myself for past mistakes and commit to making better choices. Number 6, I have strength to break free from any habits that hold me back. Number 7, I am patient with myself and transform my habits. Number 8, I realize that the life I want and actions. Number 8, I visualize the life I want and actions and act in ways that align with it. Number 9, I deserve to live a life free from unhealthy habits. Number 10, I'm disciplined, consistent, and committed to my growth. Now, I got some keys and practical ways to get rid of these bad habits and to start living a more full and fulfilling life. And number 1 is identify the triggers. Right? Recognize what prompts your bad habits, stress, boredom, the environment you're in, and address those triggers directly. So learn yourself, learn what it is that is so comforting in the bad habits, right? Number two, replace the habits with a positive one, right? So instead of smoking, eat carrots. I mean, I don't know. It's just swap unhealthy behaviors for productive activities such as exercising, journaling, and meditation, right? Sometimes you just gotta sit quiet with yourself. Number 3, set clear, achievable goals. Define what you want to change and break it down into manageable steps. Again, if you want to you know, whatever it is that you want to stop doing, you know, instead of saying I'm going to stop doing this for a year, say you're going to stop doing it for a week. Say you're going to not do it today, and then not do it again tomorrow, and then not do it again the next day. You know what I mean? Set it for one day. Or I'm not going to smoke this for an hour, and then keep going. You know what I mean? And by the time you look up, it's like, oh, I haven't done this in a while, and I don't have the need to do it anymore. Number 4, practice mindfulness. Stay present in the moment and catch yourself before engaging in unwanted habits. Yeah, staying mindful and staying focused and being present in all the decisions you make. I'm sorry. So much of this spilled over, bro. I don't understand. Be mindful of the decisions you make. Like, actually take a step back before making any decision and be like, all right, what I'm about to do, is that going to benefit me in the future, or is it going to hinder me in the future? And if it's going to hinder you, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Easier said than done, because a lot of us, we just live in the moment. We just go. But it's so beneficial to just take a step back and take a second, take a breathe. Even when you having conversation, you take a step back and you actually think. If you're having a conversation with somebody that you care for, that you love, you don't just fire off the cuff. You think about what you're gonna say, because it may affect them, right? And it's not to say the hurtful things, but it's to say things in a way that the person that you're saying it will better receive it. But that's a whole nother conversation. Number 5, reward progress, not perfection. Celebrate small victories to stay motivated while avoiding traps of self-criticism. Yeah, 1000%. Have an accountability process or accountability accountability partner, to where you can reward yourself for the small things, right? That's kind of where the idea of a cheat day came from, where a lot of people used to work out and they'll eat healthy, and then one day out the week they'll just be able to eat the junk food that they was used to, right? You know what I mean? You gotta find the alternative to whatever it is that is your personal bad habit. Find a way to treat yourself for not doing that. You know what I mean? Even though the treat and the reward is a better version of you. Number 6, focus on why you're changing. Keep a clear vision of the benefits, better health, happiness, or success that comes from breaking the habit. Yes. Once you have a reason to be breaking the habit becomes easier. If you're just doing it just to do it, like, all right, whatever, I don't want to do this anymore. Or versus, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore because it's going to bring me more money. It's going to free up my time. It's going to unlock a next level in my career. Whatever the case may be, right? Always remember your why. Always remember the reason why you're doing it. Because if you're just doing it just to do it, you're not going to stay committed to it. Right? Number 7, again, use visualization tools. Regularly, I can't say that word. On the regular, imagine yourself free from bad habits and living the life you desire. Yeah, so you gotta dream and live the outcome. Live the outcome, man. So for me right now, it's hard for me to stay dedicated and stay focused on my schooling. And I do it every day. Every single day I'm doing something towards my school. Either it's preparing for a presentation, writing down the essay, thinking about what I got to do for next week. Every day I look at my schooling for at least an hour, 2 hours a day. Every single day. And I do that because once I graduate, I unlock my world is going to just completely change. So my schooling is my number 1 focus right now. So every single day I get 1% better in my schooling. I do my French lesson. I do other things outside of that gets me 1% better. I do my pilot courses and stuff like that. I look at the information on that. I look at how to make money, how to do a business. I do look at so much stuff every single day, and I visualize myself in the shoes that I'm going to be wearing in 2 years. You know, I visualize myself with the career, with my dream career, and And that's my why. That's the reason why I do what I gotta do. And some days it's harder than others to where it's like, bro, I don't feel like looking at the score. I don't feel like doing this assignment. But then I sit there and I think, you know what? If I don't do this now, I'm gonna fail. And I refuse to fail. I simply refuse to fail. So have a why and visualize yourself in those shoes of the better version of you, right? Number 9 is set up your environment for success. Yeah. Take away the things that are distracting you. If you know you like scrolling Instagram, when it's time for you to do what you gotta do, put your phone somewhere else. Lock it up. Put it in a safe for an hour. Get one of those time locks where you can't open that joint for whatever time limit that you set. Me, what I do is when I'm downstairs in my basement and I'm doing what I gotta do, I'll sometimes leave my phone upstairs, like 3 flights of stairs, well, 2 flights of stairs, up on technically the 3rd floor, and I will just leave my phone in my room. And if I need to text somebody, I need to call somebody, whatever the case may be, I'll have to go all the way upstairs just to go and do what I gotta do. If I want to go scroll Instagram or whatever the case may be, I gotta inconvenience myself by going all the way upstairs, going to get it, and then I gotta come back downstairs. It's just inconvenience. So that's what I do sometimes. Not often, but something that I do, right? So I keep my environment, when I'm doing my studying, I keep my environment free from distractions, and it's set up for success. Remove temptations and surround yourself with positive influences, something like that. Also, another thing is having a good community around you. People that, even if they don't agree with your goals, they support your goals, right? And support your goals genuinely, like people that really care to see you happy and care to see you successful, right? I had a friend, dear friend for me, he wanted to be a cop, and I didn't support it, you know what I mean? Because I did my law enforcement stuff too, but I just didn't like it because of the way it is now, and I feared for not necessarily his life, but I just didn't want him to be a cop, and that was for my own selfish reasons. But at the end of the day, he never know. He probably know that now if he watched this video. But, and I've mentioned it in the 100 Simple Life Truths as well. But I didn't want him to be a cop, but I still supported him 100%, and that I did that because I knew that my support meant a lot to him, and I wanted him to be happy. Whether I can't live his life for him. If you want to do something and you're not harming anybody, and it's something that you truly want to do, I'm gonna support you. And you need those type of people around you in your life. You need people that are gonna support you regardless of what their own agenda is, right? So, yeah. Number 10. Be consistent and start small. Be consistent and start small. There's no real thing as a overnight success. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. You got to put in those 10,000 hours. You got to put in the hours. You got to put in the work, and you have to focus on building the momentum through small, consistent actions that eventually become a new habit. So, like I said, I'm a lot in this video, but we have to start small. Set those small goals, and realize that the person that you want to be, the habits that you want to break, are not going to be broken tomorrow. You're not going to become the best version of yourself tomorrow, right? You're going to be better than you was yesterday, but you still got a lot ahead of you, right? You got to stay dedicated to the journey. Keep taking those small steps every day. I'm just going to do this for today, and see how good you feel at the end of the day, all right? And then at the end of the day, you make that goal for the next day. I'm not going to do this tomorrow. And then see how good you feel at the end of that day. And then you're just going to keep feeling greater and greater and greater about yourself, to where your momentum is just going to be, it's like a snowball. You got to snowball it. And you start small, and eventually you can move mountains. So the first step is to know yourself and to be honest with yourself. Sit down with yourself and think of all the things that you've done in your life, all the bad habits that put you in bad situations, and all the good habits that put you in good situations. And sometimes the most classic thing to do is write a list. Write a list of all the things that you want to change and all the things that you want to amplify, right? Because although you do have some bad qualities about you, everyone does, right? Everyone always will, right? But it's how we mitigate those and how we control them and keep them at bay. Although you have those bad habits, you also have great habits too. You also have great things about you that make you the great person that you are today. And the goal is to diminish the bad and amplify the good. And it takes time. It takes time. So stay dedicated to the goal and get there. You'll get there, trust me. So, am I going to go over these again? I am. So number 1, identify the triggers. Number 2, replace habits with a positive form. Replace the bad habits with a positive form. I wrote that wrong. Number 3, set clear, achievable goals. Number 4, practice mindfulness. Number 5, reward progress, not perfection. Number 6, create an accountability system. Did I do that one? I don't think I did that one. Number 7, use visualization techniques. Number 18, focus on why you're changing. Number 9, set up your environment for success. And number 10, be consistent and start small. So there you go. I gave y'all 10 affirmations and 10 practical ways to get it done. I hope y'all continue to have a good day. I hope you take at least one good thing out of this video. I hope you become 1% better. And I release y'all in love. I release y'all in abundance. I release y'all from y'all bad habits, right? Because I want y'all to grow. I want y'all to be rich, and it has nothing to do with money. Again, when I say I want rich friends, that means I want friends that are rich in mind, body, and spirit. When you have good people around you, you have no choice but to be a good person as well. So I love y'all. Be loved, be great, be awesome, and get rid of those bad habits. Be better than that.